be in the building. I'm here for the review. Team Cheeks be in the building. I need a couple scouts to hit the dumpling house. I'll dump them out to see what all the fuss about. But first, so many copies though. What kind of obstacles? How old the chef are we talking? And is it logical? I need a lineup and a rock and roll. If the review is over 8, we hit a pot of gold. For sure. Hit it and adios. I'm glad I got busy. All right. What's up, guys? First ever Behind the Cheeks podcast. Totally just gonna raw dog this. Gonna try to do a half hour for the first, wouldn't even really call this, I guess, an episode. I guess it's a pilot. Just sitting here. Got the producer with me, One Leg Mike.
Yo.
So One Leg's out here, gonna try to keep everything going. We don't know how the audio is gonna work. We don't know how the timer is gonna work. Shit, we don't even know how to upload this to Spotify, really, but we're gonna try. So I guess the point of the podcast, I was working with my other producer, my AI, you know what I mean? The ChatGPT, that's the other producer. So we were talking to ChatGPT, and I guess it said we gotta kind of tell you guys what the podcast is going to be about. So since we're banned off of all social media platforms, right, Mike? I guess we're banned off the TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Banned off the Instagram.
Twice.
Banned off the X. We're kind of banned on the YouTube. They kind of like, what's that? Shadow ban. Yeah, they shadow ban the post. Kick's been good to us, so we've been on the Kick. So we just decided now, instead of posting up like clips, instead of posting up clips like we do. Oh yeah, we still got the Reddit, but instead of posting up random clips, because it seems I can only post about 8-9 clips and then we get banned on whatever platform. Just decided that we're just going to start posting clips of the podcast. And then you can come over here, check it out. And then if you're really interested into the hobby, you can join the Discord. You know what I'm saying? So let's tell you what the podcast is going to be about. So it's basically going to be about everything to do with what I've been filming for about the last 3 years. We've been going at it about 3 years, right? About 3 years. Yeah, we've been doing this.
Pushing 4.
Yeah, probably pushing 4 years now. We've got close to over about 4,000 people that have joined the Discord since it started. From people in Las Vegas, we got people, a section, and people that joined from Los Angeles. We got a section for the Long Beach area. Shout out to Arizona. Arizona's going strong out there. We have a shout out people that joined in New York. We have a room for San Diego, a room for Seattle. We have a traveling section. Oh, and then we have a room for the swingers. Big shout out to Gigi. She's the moderator there. If you know anything about Team Cheeks, you already know who Gigi is. You know what I'm saying? It's my best friend. She's a swinger out here in Las Vegas. She gives you an inside look from a woman's point of view. She will be here on Fridays, co-hosting the Friday show. So that's Gigi. We have the swingers room. Then we just have a bunch of other fun rooms. We have like a sports gambling room if you need to get up your money. You know what I'm saying? You get some money to get some cheeks. We have people in there talking about gambling and stuff like that. But that's where all the information is going to be. And this podcast is just pretty much, I guess, we're going to have what? Call-ins. We're going to focus on,
soon.
Call-ins are going to be soon. We're going to focus on massage parlors, reviews, the what to do's, my stories. Hopefully next week or something like that. Like I said, we can get the call-ins going so people can call in if you got questions about your first time going, if you got questions on how to make something happen, if you got questions of where to go, you know what I'm saying? Good things to look for. A lot of people ask very popular questions for the first couple of times. How should they dress? We can go over stuff like that. We're going to focus on strip club etiquette, how to try to get the strippers to, you know what I'm saying, come back home with you type stuff like that. We're going to focus on all the strip clubs, I guess, through the Las Vegas area. And then we're going to cover whatever's in our Discord we'll cover. So we'll cover, like I said, Los Angeles, Arizona, stuff like that.
Places we want to go.
Yeah. Future places like that. Definitely going to, for the passport bros, me and One Leg been talking. We definitely need to get out to Colombia. So we're going to focus on Colombia. We're going to focus on Mexico. We're going to focus on stuff like that. Is it the battery? I think we're still going okay. You know what I'm saying? We just had our first little technical difficulty, but that's why One Leg's here. So we're going to focus on the Pass Bro stuff. And then the big topic while you're probably here, and I think I could pretty much talk freely here because it is a podcast. I don't think I can get censored on here. We're definitely going to talk about prostitution, baby. You know what I'm saying? The good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to talk about, from my point of view, I've been dabbling into the hobby over about 15, 20 years. I would love to get, workers to come on here. They can call in, give us their point of view. Maybe they could tell us what we can do better when we're on the hunt, ways to approach them, how we should approach them, where to approach them. That would be cool. Then I want them to hear our opinion of, like, you know, how we feel, stories, all that type of stuff. So we're going to go ahead and, you know, definitely talk about that type of stuff. I think the stories, everybody has funny stories. So I definitely think maybe just getting out stories here on the live, letting people know what's going on is going to be fun. So that's going to be a big part of the show. And shit, what else are we going to talk about? I guess anything kind of going out in Las Vegas too, from week to week. If there's going to be any events at places, there's like midget wrestling sometimes at Minks, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And I guess we're just going to try to promote the hobby. If you're maybe like cam girls, we're going to try to get on here, just interview women that are in the industry. If maybe you're on that chatterbait, or if you're on one of those cam girls, you can come in here, tell us what we can look for you. The OnlyFans girls, we're going to try to get on here, but there's no podcast that really, you know, cater to them. I mean, some of them do, but they're going to cater to like the big stars. We're going to just focus on the up and comers, maybe the tortas out there. They're trying to get famous, you know, some of the more stuff that people don't want to touch. So we're going to do that. And we're also on Fridays going to have swinger talk. So if you want to get into like the lifestyle, stuff like that, like I said earlier, we're going to have Gigi out here to talk to that on Fridays. So, and I think we could do reviews, right? I think we could play videos and do reviews.
Yeah, we'll do basically like recorded Kick streams.
Okay, so
like basically what we do on Kick, but we'll do it for podcasts and only be for podcasts.
Okay, so there's definitely what we're gonna try to do is get professional. Like tonight, we've been drinking, I've been dabbing, we've been getting it going. But basically, we're gonna try to have maybe like a YouTube playlist or something with like 4 or 5 videos. So then, you know, I can kind of give you my professional opinion of what I'm seeing, what I would do, how much you should drop on it, the negotiation skills I would use, all that good stuff. And then hopefully the dream is people could call in and then you can kind of debate with me. If I say, hey, man, I think I would drop 100, maybe you could call in and be like, no way, like you're tripping, that's too low. I would do 250. We can go back and forth and just have some fun debates. And then maybe hopefully, you know what I'm saying, the women can call in too and give us their point of view. But that's what the podcast is going to be about. We're going to shoot for, what are we going to shoot for? 30 minutes, man. We're just hitting the 8-minute mark right now. So it's going to be a tough go. What else should we talk about, Mike? What else should we talk about?
The first thing you wanted to talk about.
Oh, there you go. That's why you're here, Mike. I guess we're going to get off. The first thing we're going to talk about for this podcast, and I said it on the Discord, is what the fuck happened to the Blade Walkers, a.k.a. them hoes walking the streets in Las Vegas. We are down tremendously bad out here, boys. Tremendously bad. Let's take it back to, I like to say, 2021, 2022? I mean, man, you could just go out to the New Orleans. I'm sorry, I called it the New Orleans. You should go out to the Orleans. Everybody knows where it is, good old Tropicana or Boulder. And there was a lot of them out there. And that's when I first started doing this Team Cheek stuff. And it was just, the quality was out there. You could definitely go see, you know what I'm saying, the light-skinned chefs. You could see the dark chefs. We had the bunnies out there. You had the Latinas. You had the tortas. Every now and then you would even see a couple Asians walking around out there. I mean, everybody was out there. The rainbow was out there. You had your pickings. You could negotiate. It was as easily as just turning right there at the gas station, pulling into the Orleans. There's plenty of parking. All you really had to do was just kind of just pull up, park, put your hand out the window, kind of, you know, signal them over to the car, and you were good. You know what I'm saying? You could get yourself a room at the Orleans. Used to be cheap. You could walk in a matter of 15, 20 minutes, get yourself a room. Done that plenty of times. If you didn't have the money, maybe you could just negotiate going to the park. Been there many of times. Or a lot of times you could just go up there to the third story of the parking garage. There wasn't even security back in those days. You know what I mean? So you can go to the top of the garage, do your thing, drop them back off, and get out of there. And it was good. It was good. I would say we had arguably the number 2, maybe number 3 blade out on the West Coast. Of course, Figueroa was always king. Beach Boulevard was right there, maybe at number 2 for a long time. But I like to say we were right there under them, man. Us and Beach Boulevard used to battle. But recently, guys, this is where the subject is going to come up to. There is just nothing going on in the Las Vegas scene out there. It is dead. If you go out there Monday, it's dead. Tuesday, dead. You just go through the whole weekday, it's dead. Even on Friday, it's dead. Saturday's dead. Now, why is that? Why is that? I have a couple theories. Maybe we'll ask Mike what he thinks it is. I think we were talking about it. I think for one, the recession, right?
Of course.
Yeah, I just think a lot of people just don't have the money they had a couple years ago. So maybe they're not hitting. That's just easy to go. Number 2 is the security at the Orleans and the police, right, Mike?
Man, you see them every day, no matter if it's dead or popping.
Yes, there's been a lot of people out there, man. The security goes around. They're going around deep. We see them boys parked on pretty much, they're just parking the sidewalk, flipping their lights on. So, like, not only as a driver are you scared, I mean, you gotta think the girls walking around are gonna be scared too. So that's definitely killing it. I gotta say, you know what? I think too, a lot of people out here, which no other city in the world has this problem. I do think that a lot of the street girls start out street girls, and then I think you can go on social media and watch girls that are working the casinos. And I think it's very easy to make the switch. I think it's very easy to make the switch from street to casino. And if you hit the casino, this is what I think. My real theory is, I think if you're doing dates out there for 100, 200, and you wear that same outfit, same talk, you do the same amount of time, but you go meet somebody out here at the Wynn Casino. Maybe you meet them at the MGM. Maybe you meet them at Caesars. And then you're charging, maybe 6, 7, and you get it. I don't think you ever go back to the streets, right? You're never going to go back to the streets, right?
Why would you?
Yeah, see, that's the only problem where LA don't have this, Seattle don't have this, nobody else has this. You can hit the streets, you could go walk to the casino on a Wednesday, hit big, and you're never going to go back to the block. At least that's just my opinion.
I would think it's more quality over quantity.
Yes, and that's why I would like to get a couple females that could call in right now as soon as we get the call-in show going on, where I could get a female's perspective, because why would you go back? A, it's going to be hot or cold out there. When you're in a casino, you're going to have the AC. You could actually see the people in the casinos have money, rather than the car just pull up and I guess maybe, see, this is where we need a female's point of view is, you got to base them on if they're pulling up in a bucket, if they're pulling up in like a BMW, if they got a newer Honda, an older Honda. I guess that's how you kind of judge if they have money. Then they're pulling over the side of the road, and them boys can get right behind both of you and take you and him for talking on the side of the road. Shoot. And then it comes the whole thing when you meet them, you got to jump in the car. Are you going to the park? Are you going to go to some sketchy gas station? Is he going to try to take you on a sketchy ride? Is he lying to you, saying that he has a room at the Excalibur to jump in and maybe he doesn't? I mean, I could go on, and I'm just thinking from my point of view, as opposed to walking through, let's say, the Wynn Casino, where you kind of been making eye contact with a guy, you've been watching him play craps, or you've been watching him play roulette. You see the chips in front of him. Maybe you see him at the blackjack table. You got the greens and the blacks in front of him. Trust me, they know too what the chips are out there. Maybe you got some stacks of blacks. You got some stacks of greens. She's watching. You're watching. He calls you over. He tells you he's staying at the Wynn. He tells you he wants to go upstairs. You don't got to worry about, just that alone. Why would you ever go back? And especially too out here, when guys are winning, they're going to be a lot more free with the money. You know what I'm saying? If you just won yourself 800 and she's asking for the 800, you're probably more opposed to give it out at a casino than you are just driving with your car on a random ass Wednesday when you know you got your budget. Because right, Mike, when you go, don't you got a budget?
Yeah, and my one thing I would like to add to it, you don't have, if you're working in the casino, they don't have to worry about cops. Only thing they have to worry about is just security.
Yeah. That's what I was saying too. Like the worst that's gonna happen out to them if they get caught flashing is what, in '86. You know what I mean? Tell them don't come back here, and which they all do. But they're not gonna arrest you. They're not gonna make a big deal about it. They're not gonna pull you over. Like we've seen them on the sides out here at the Orleans. They're pulling over the girls now. They're doing the full on get on side of the road, get on the car type shit. They're treating them bad out here, and I guess that's a big reason why they're not out here. But yeah, that's just the number one reason why I think the street game out here is down tremendously bad. I think that any worker that comes out here is going to dabble in the casino, right? I mean, it just makes sense. You know what I mean? I guess if you're new and maybe you got a manager out here and he's kind of lying to you, tell you the casinos are not the move, I guess you could scare some new booty and being like, yeah, you go in there and it's just tons of security and you walk around and they throw you in the back. And I mean, I guess you could maybe lie for a little bit, right? But eventually she's going to talk to others. You know what I mean?
It's like a parent and a kid where they say,
yeah,
don't do that, but you still going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be like, don't go to the strip. You're going to get caught. Don't go to the strip. You're going to get caught. And the reason they don't want them going to the strip is for what I said. Once they realize they don't need your help and they can bang out for like 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 on a date, it's over, bro. They're never going to hit the streets back again. That's why I think, too, man, it's probably hard being a manager out here in today's times. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, I could get into that, too. That's what's probably wrong, too, with the street game, too. It's hard to be a manager. I mean, nowadays, the girls got the OnlyFans. They could post themselves on sites like Euros. They can, post themselves on Instagram, TikTok. The dudes hit them with the DM. They say they're coming into town. All the girl really got to do is just verify the room. That's what any good call girl is going to do, because I know all you guys have called like services and stuff out here. And that's kind of dying too, because that's basically what the girl would pay the service to do, would be to market them and then filter the calls. Guys calling in, talking bullshit. And then the right guy calls in. You got to verify him, in case you guys don't know how they verify out here in Las Vegas. The girl you're talking to or the service you're talking to is going to ask you, to go outside and take a picture of your door number. And then they're going to ask you for your last name. And then what they're going to do is they're going to hang up with you, wait about 5 seconds, and call the casino where you're saying you're staying. You're staying at the Excalibur. They're going to call back the Excalibur, ask for room 5698 with Lopez. And if they put you through, you're going to get some action. If they don't put you through, that's what they get paid to do, is filter all the bulls. Because a lot of guys just like to call and just be like, hey, is this you? Is this really you in the picture? How do I know it's you? Can you send me a picture of your left titty? Can you send me this? Can you do this? And like, nobody wants to deal with that. These girls are up all night. They're working. Some of them are dancing. They don't got time to deal with that shit. So that's what services and I guess managers used to do, was filter it out. But nowadays, I think it's getting so easy with these live streams and stuff like that. Chicks don't need nobody to filter out. They just get on, find someone that's coming out to Las Vegas, ask them their last name, their room, and bam, they're in there, bro. Straight up. You know what I mean? You're going to hit for big, especially if you know the person you're talking to is staying at like the Fontainebleau and you know that they're, verified for staying there. These girls are going to start fucking high and probably get it. They're probably going to ask sometimes for like, you know what I'm saying? Probably start out for the band. Ask for the band. Then you come down a little bit thinking you're getting a deal. They're still going to get their $700-800 for their 15, 20 minutes. You know what I mean? So that's what I think's going on. Shit. What else? Maybe other blades are popular too. Maybe if, maybe some girls have been kicked out of all casinos and it's just so slow. And then you get on now with social media and you see how Figueroa Street's hitting. Shit, 27th, huh?
That's what we were talking about. Even if one 27th girl came out here to Vegas,
they
would run it.
Yeah, they would kill it out here. So, I think that if you're working out here, you want to go work with other girls that are doing the thing to blend in. you see these social media videos. I think some of them are running to Arizona. I think a lot of them are running to LA. If you're, a true street, you're getting out there to Seattle, or you're traveling, or just like I said, you're doing the marketing on social media. I just don't think the streets of Las Vegas are going to be the move anymore. I think if you come out here, you got to hit a casino, right? You got to hit a casino. I think as locals too, like we go out there to Boulder, and Boulder used to be an inside joke that like you could go out there, find yourself a cheap Boulder bunny, but like they were out there, you know what I'm saying? And like it's just now it's like worse quality and they're not even out there. So like what are you really selling for a Boulder? Like the Lowe's parking lot used to go off. I used to go in there. They had the dudes selling the corn. They had the dudes with the agua frescas. The chicks were walking around. People were coming out with lumber. People were making deals. The contractors were getting blown out in the back of the parking lot. I mean, it was good times for everybody. You know what I mean? But go through there now in the daytime, I don't see much of nothing. And shoot, the Orleans is dead. I used to go to the Orleans early Sunday mornings to do my parlays, get a little BJ, hit the parlays. That hasn't happened. We're going into, I think, week 5 now, maybe? Going into week 5, and I'm 0 for 5 for the early morning parlay BJs. I just stopped going there now to make my parlays. See? They're losing money out there. Nothing's really going on. So that is what I think is going on. First little, you know what I'm saying? Didn't go too bad. That was our first little, like, get into a subject. This is what you can expect from the podcast. We're going to try to do a podcast on Monday, right? We're going to do Mondays. We're going to do Tuesdays. Tuesdays we will do reviews and have call-ins. And then on Fridays, we're going to try to pop a show off with Gigi so we can get you guys the woman's point of view so you just don't keep hearing me or Mike talk and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it for this one. I don't think it's too bad. Right, Mike? We gotta load it, right? We gotta put it up.
Yeah, if you guys are in the Discord and you do see this, we do appreciate any feedback. Let us know what we need to do, what we need to work on, what we need to add. We do appreciate all feedback. Even if you tell us it's ass.
Yeah. Can they leave comments? Do you know? Can they leave comments on the
something we gotta find out?
Okay, yeah. If you guys can leave comments or thumbs up, I don't know how in the fuck the Spotify works, but we're gonna load this one up as the first one. And like I said, we did this with no videos. Shit, me and Mike are down, about 85% down the bottle of tequila. We're about 85%. Yeah, 85% done with the bottle. I've been dabbing. Mike don't dab, but he's hitting the vape. You know what I'm saying? And we just freestyled it. So the next one we load up should be a little more professional. They should get better as the time goes. But it's going to be the dirtiest podcast, I promise you. It's going to be the funnest podcast, I promise you. And it's going to be one of the only podcasts for people in the hobby from a woman's point of view or a male's point of view, where you could call in, get your shit off, get your stories off, get your dislikes about the hobby, what you like about the hobby. I mean, I got stuff I want to talk about. One of my favorite subjects I want to talk about, is it cheaper to hobby for the year or is it cheaper to marry for the year? I would love to get into like debates like that. Let married guys call in, tell me what they think about it. Let guys call in that ain't married, what they think about it, all that type shit. So you can expect a lot of fun shit from the podcast, Behind the Cheeks, Monday, Tuesday, and Fridays. I don't know if we're going to guarantee you 3, but we're going to guarantee you at least 2 shows a week. So we're going to guarantee 2 shows a week. So that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to get better. We're going to be reviewing clips. If you got sending clips, maybe we can shoot. What I would love to do too is maybe if you're like an OnlyFans girl, you could give us your OnlyFans and we could set up maybe some like PG-13 R-rated stuff we could watch, and I can kind of review your clips, or we could talk about your page. We could talk about what you do, the services you provide, where they can find you. Maybe you're dancing at a club, all that type stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So if that would be great, we can get the marketing going, you know what I'm saying, both ways. And shoot, who wouldn't like just to sit here and review OnlyFans girls? You know what I'm saying? So let's go, man. We're just hitting about the 25-minute mark. I think that's good, right?
Yeah, boys. We do appreciate everyone that does come out. We do appreciate anyone that does show support to us. We've been going through the ringer with all the bands and everything.
Yeah, we can't even leave this. I was going to say, usually we would end probably leaving you our TikTok, leaving you the Instagram. Yeah. But shit, they're up today, fucking gone tomorrow. So if you're in the Discord, that's probably the best way to follow us like that. And if you want to join the Discord, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to find a TikTok and Instagram, and there's definitely always going to be a video. Shit, we're even on the Clapper too, man. You can check us out on the Clapper. The Clapper's a cool-ass app, man. Underrated app, if you ask me, the Clapper. All right, guys, we're getting out of here, baby. 25 minutes, man. First show, we fucking did it, man. All right, guys, we out of here, man.
Peace.
Peace.